Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And well, what a game that was, as the New York Knicks come out victorious in game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, taking on the Miami Heat in the second round, tying up the series 1-1. The New York Knicks winning, the final score being 111 to 105 at Madison Square Garden. And this was a much needed victory, especially after losing game 1. And that's supposed to be your game. You have the home court advantage. The Heat went on to steal that, and they outclassed us when it came in the second half. No excuses at all. But the big time storyline, Jimmy Butler went on to injure his ankle in the second half of that basketball game. You know, that collision with Josh Hart, accidental collision, and Jimmy Butler did not go on to play in game 2. If they were the team that was down 0-1, I do think Jimmy Butler would have toughened it up and played this game, but I don't know how bad his injury really is. But Jalen Brunson, he was questionable with a sore ankle. He went on to play though. Julius Randle obviously injured his ankle, or re-injured his ankle when it came to game 5, taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers in that first half. He went on to injure it. So I was wondering if there was going to be a rust factor, him not playing that game 2, not playing for a couple games, and you're playing a totally different defense. You're playing up against a brand new coach of Eric Spoelstra compared to a JB Bickerstaff, who's a lot better. He really knows how to design defenses, or design certain coverages for opposing players that he's going to be going up against, and knows how to make adjustments, unlike a JB Bickerstaff. So you're going up against totally different personnel. How's he going to be game 2? He didn't play game 1. So I was really interested to see how Randall's going to go on to play. And obviously he was terrific on the offense side of the basketball. He was truly brilliant. He finished his game with 25 points. He was efficient from the field. He had 12 rebounds. He was 8 assists. He set the tone with his passing. And I felt at least one player from the big 3 really set the tone throughout this game, or helped contribute to this win. You had RJ Barrett, who was efficient from the field. He hit 5 threes in this basketball game, and we needed threes to be knocked down. It's so crazy. He hit 5 threes, and the whole collective team last game in game 1 only made 7 threes. That is just a big time improvement. So you got the 25, or you got the 24 points from RJ Barrett. You got the 25 points from Julius Randle, but you also got 30 points from Jalen Brunson. He was absolutely terrific in the second half, finishing with 24 points in that second half. He only had 6 points in the first half. So for him to step up like that, it was terrific, because I thought the Miami Heat were just absolutely outclassing the New York Knicks in the first half. It was kind of the opposite of last game, that they set the tone, but the New York Knicks really closed it out when it came to the second half. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you beat this G League team, these undrafted players, but you got to put respect on this Miami Heat team. There's a reason they're in the playoffs. It's not just because of Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's a terrific player. We know he's had these amazing performances in the NBA playoffs. He's built for the playoffs, no doubt about it. But when you don't have a Jimmy Butler, Eric Spoelstra has a very good game plan. That's to shoot threes. This personnel is built to shoot threes from beyond the arc. If it's Kyle Lowry coming off the bench, even though he did not excel in this game at a very high level, he obviously did last game, but you have Max Strus that can shoot the 3-ball. You have Gabe Vincent that can shoot the 3-ball. You have Duncan Robinson. You have the versatility, and even Caleb Martin killed us from beyond the arc, and they made more threes than us, but we were more efficient from beyond the arc, as we knocked down 16 threes in this basketball game, which opened up a lot when it came to the interior, pitching and kicking, dribble penetrating, kicking it outside of the perimeter. They did go on to make 17 threes, but they attempted damn near 50 threes in this basketball game. So you do got to give credit to the Miami Heat. Julius Randle set the tone when it came to dribble penetration, kicking it out to Jalen Brunson, first points of the game, corner 3. He made another beautiful read, finding RJ for 3 a couple times. So RJ Barrett got off to a terrific start. He had the and one working down the lane. He did a terrific job drawing fouls. I thought his playmaking was solid. I thought his defense was decent. I'm not going to say overall anyone really played great defensively, even though I thought Grimes did a really good job down the stretch. I thought it was quite interesting that RJ did not play down the stretch at all. Maybe it's Tom Thibodeau, like, I just want the ball in Jalen Brunson's hands. Let Jalen Brunson go to work. But the 3-point defense needs a lot of work, because I think our 3-point defense is starting to really get exposed, and it looked a lot better against the Cleveland Cavaliers compared to the Miami Heat, because the Miami Heat have more 3-point personnel that can consistently knock it down. Unlike the Cleveland Cavaliers, they have a coach of Eric Spoelstra compared to a JB Bickerstaff that can actually make adjustments. And when you take a look at Tom Thibodeau's defensive system, it's very interior defensive oriented as well. So we have to close out at a certain time. It's like we're not always defending the perimeter. So there's times I'm like, should I blame Randall there for not chasing around Duncan Robinson there for a 3, or should I blame the defensive system and Tom Thibodeau kind of having an ancient defense? But they were able to kill us from beyond the arc, which did open up things in the interior. And on top of that, when we had struggles, like I said, we're scoring the ball. RJ hot start, Randall hot start, but outside of RJ and Julius Randle, no one else was really producing offensively. Like I mentioned, Brunson only had 6 points in that first half, and then when it came to the bench, Obi came off the bench, just way off on threes. He didn't produce a lot much a lot offensively. I didn't think he was that good defensively. Quickly competes out there on the basketball floor, but he hasn't really gone to that rhythm. I don't know if he will in the playoffs. Quickly's been very underwhelming. He hit a couple jumpers in the fourth quarter, but you didn't get anything from Quickly when he came off the bench scoring the ball. Shout out to Hartenstein, though. I thought he brought a lot of energy to the table, but one of the main reasons the New York Knicks were really in trouble, and when we were down 3 at halftime, it felt like more because you had Mitchell Robinson picked up 3 fouls. Hartenstein comes in the game, he picks up 3 fouls, so they're not afraid to attack the basket and continuously try to get those guys into foul trouble as well, and then you have our bench not producing on top of it. The New York Knicks were definitely in trouble when it came to Caleb Martin had over 20 points this game. He was the leading scorer, but then you also have confidence at the same time because we have Randall, who's more physical than an Obi, starting now for the New York Knicks. And it's like you got that physical body. Bam Adebayo wasn't as impactful in this game compared to last game. I didn't think he was that. He still finished at 8 rebounds, but I didn't think he got those pop plays from the Miami Heat. They needed more from a Bam Adebayo. They needed more of that versatility on the offense side of the basketball, more of a consistency outside of that three-point shot. And I thought Bam was underwhelming for the Miami Heat, to be completely real with you guys. But one of the main reasons we struggled, the three-point shots from the outside, the Miami Heat were able to knock down, and the shot distribution from the Miami Heat as well. If you take a look at the Miami Heat when it was their starting lineup when it came to halftime, you look at the 1 through 5 position, it was like 5 shots, 6 shots, 5 shots. They got a very good equal distribution from their guys, while the New York Knicks did not do that, and we didn't get production from their bench, and their bench still ended up outscoring our bench, but obviously our big three stepped up at a very high level. And Jalen Brunson, when it came to that third quarter, a couple minutes of that third quarter, he had 11, I believe, in that third. He hit big time shots in the fourth quarter. He was absolutely terrific, but it came down to the defense. It came down to the bench production for the Heat. You know, them knocking down threes, and outside of Randall and RJ, we didn't have much scoring production, to be completely honest with you guys, and our centers obviously getting into foul trouble. And when it did look like the New York Knicks got something clicking and we were going to tie this game going into halftime, when RJ Barrett knocked down a 3 off of catch and shoot, and we're just asking for this guy to knock down open threes, and he's done that, and he's played very well in the NBA playoffs since Game 3 of the first round match versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's been playing very good basketball. Obviously, he struggled Game 1 and Game 2, but he's really stepped up at a high level, and you got to give credit to RJ Barrett. We'll see how he plays in Miami, but he's been playing very good basketball on the offensive side of things. He's been unpredictable, and he's just making quick, decisive decisions, which we want out of an RJ Barrett. But when there was a play, RJ Barrett knocks down a 3 to tie it. We finally get a stop defensively, but then Julius Randle, I thought we should have just fed the hot hand there of RJ Barrett. We just don't do this on a consistent basis unless it's Brunson or Randle. I feel like we don't consistently feed the high hand of RJ Barrett. It's really weird in our offense, but Randle ends up committing this offensive foul, and then to close out the first half, Kevin Love knocks down this 3. Randle gave him some space. So I just thought we weren't playing timely defense. You know, the ball movement wasn't consistent. There was nice plays, but it wasn't consistent out there on the floor. But Randall was scoring the basketball. He made a couple quick, decisive decisions, driving strong to the basket on the right side, bucket over Kevin Love, because you want to utilize your athleticism versus Kevin Love, because even if you're not 100%, you're more athletic than Kevin Love. You're younger at the stage of this career. And Kevin Love, even though he was fantastic in Minnesota, you saw what he brought to the table in Cleveland. He's never been this crazy athletic dude. You know, he has good positioning, but Randall used that physicality, don't settle. And Randall did a really good job throughout this game. This was obviously his best playoff game. But when you take a look at that third quarter, you know, Gabe Vincent definitely gave the Knicks some buckets throughout this game. Gabe Vincent continues to be a Knicks killer. You know, this dude just killing it from the outside, and because our centers are in foul trouble, he was able to get into the teeth of the defense. I remember at one point just drive down the lane, and I was like, is the Knicks defense going to look better in that second half? At the start of it, no, because we allowed a backdoor play, and they were able to get an easy lay, but after a couple minutes in, we started to get into a groove offensively. Randall knocked down a 3 on that right wing. Randall knocked down a couple threes, which we needed. You know, Brunson started to score. I remember RJ hit a 3. He didn't get as many shots as he did in the first half compared to the second half, but I remember Randall hit this very nice baseline jumper to end that third quarter. But what it really came down to was Bam didn't step up at a high level. They didn't get crazy production from Kyle Lowry offensively. Kevin Love didn't give you crazy production. Gabe Vincent definitely got some big buckets, but he wasn't crazy efficient throughout this game. Duncan Robinson didn't hit those big shots that you really desperately needed. Max Strus got some buckets at the beginning of the third, but the main guys that were contributing from the first quarter to the third quarter weren't stepping up at a very high level, and they had no answer for Jalen Brunson. Like I mentioned, Jalen Brunson 6 points in the first half, but he had 24 points in that second half. Second half, he was terrific, and it wasn't just Jalen Brunson being able to knock down threes. You know, get to that runner to make it, I believe, a 4-point game, and then it kind of became the free throw game. I remember they were getting buckets, But I remember, obviously, Josh Hart hit a big-time three in this game, and you got to just, again, give credit to Randall's passing. Randall scored the basketball, but he made some big-time passes. I remember in the fourth quarter, distribute to Josh Hart, and Josh Hart maybe wouldn't have been maybe it wasn't an assist, but he made the key read to find Josh Hart. He had the and one, the extra pass to, I believe Randall made the extra pass to Brunson, and then, no, Randall kicked it. Yeah, Randall kicked it in the corner, I remember, to Jalen Brunson. He had this 4-point play, or ended up in a 4-point play, because Hartenstein did an excellent job drawing this foul when Bam Adebayo and Hartenstein was setting a screen, and then Bam Adebayo ran right through it. So he made an excellent pass there. Julius Randle actually tied the game. I believe there's 3:30 left in this moment, so Randall made the extra pass for the Brunson three, and I'm not going to lie, I don't think he took that shot in time for it to result in a 4-point play, but Hartenstein ended up knocking down the free throw to actually, that gave us the lead, that gave us a 1-point lead, because we were actually down 3, so that was big-time pivotal play, and I remember Randall making just big-time passes, kicking it out to Josh Hart. He was making that extra pass. He was making the right reads. You really got to give credit to Randall when Josh Hart missed a 3, got an offensive rebound, and got the offensive rebound, and then he missed it. Randall offensive rebound. He might have missed it, but he ended up knocking down 2 free throws. There definitely was some scary moments in this game, though, especially down the stretch when Julius Randle made those free throws I mentioned. When he got the offensive rebound, Bam Adebayo ended up fouling him. We're up 106-100 when there's 102 to go. And the Heat called this timeout. Gabe Vincent, I remember, he puts up like this 27-footer with 59 seconds to go, and it didn't go down, which resulted in Mitchell Robinson actually getting fouled. Josh Hart this defensive rebound, which led to his possession. Mitch actually split the free throw, so I'm like, oh, we're in pretty good shape. There's 47 seconds to go. We're up 107-100. We get a stop on Caleb Martin, and they intentionally foul Josh Hart. Josh Hart, though, splits the free throws this time, though. He doesn't knock down both of them. He split the free throws actually a couple times. So I'm like, we're up 8. We let Gabe Vincent drive to the basket. There's 24 seconds. I'm like, okay, I don't mind that. Let's not commit any stupid fouls. And they cut it to a 6-point game. But then Julius Randle has the ball under his own basket, and he steps over, he has the ball near the Miami Heat basket. He steps over the inbounds line, which resulted in a turnover, and then Duncan Robinson was able to knock down this 3 to cut it to a 3-point game, which made it scary because there's 22 seconds to go. But the Miami Heat, the Knicks were able to take time off the clock, and they didn't foul Josh Hart until there was 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and then that's when he sealed both the free throws to pretty much put the game away. Just giving you guys a little quick play-by-play which happened here in the fourth quarter if you're not able to catch the game, but it was scary, but the Knicks were able to come out victorious. It's like Randall definitely was big time in this game. Brunson was extremely clutch, but Hartenstein, big time offensive rebounds, tipping it out. The second chance opportunities saved our offense. Us hitting 16 threes, Josh Hart hitting timely threes, saved our offense. Jalen Brunson 3. The 3-point distribution, these guys knocking out threes. If it was Randall, hit a couple. Brunson, Josh Hart, RJ. Like, these guys were stepping up for the New York Knicks. We need quickly to get it together if we want to play at our highest potential. Grimes had an excellent and one in transition as well off of a good defensive play when we were getting out and going. And I thought Grimes was playing good defense down the stretch in the fourth quarter. I thought the defense was better when it came to the closing minutes in this basketball game. But there also was a time we left Caleb Martin wide open for a 3 that he didn't execute. That we got lucky. There was a time we let Kyle Lowry go right to the basket. He did not go on to finish. But we made more of the splash plays. Brunson sidestep 3 coming off the screen over a Caleb Martin. He was able to knock it down. Grimes and one in transition, the tip outs, Josh Hart's big 3. We made more of those splash plays that we were able to execute. Randall getting big time rebounds. This team played with a lot of heart. It's going to be a lot different when Jimmy Butler defends Jalen Brunson, but the way Brunson went off, how methodical he was creating off the bounce, his footwork is just at a whole other level when he hit that big time jumper over Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson was playing good defense. That was just terrific offense by Jalen Brunson. We were just hitting bigger shots. We were hitting shots when it mattered most, and the defense got it together, so our shot making was just at a whole other level compared to the Miami Heat. But credit to the Heat, they really did a good job distributing the ball. They're like, we don't have Jimmy Butler, we're still gonna play team basketball, we're gonna whiz the ball around, but Bam didn't step up like you really needed him to. 20-point per game score in the regular season, still finished at 18 or 19 points, but you needed more from him, and we were better on the glass. We finished with over 20 assists. I still think we have to do a better job consistently distributing the basketball in certain moments and feeding the high hand, but I love that we got over 20 plus points from our 3 top guys. That's what I really liked. And Hartenstein, like, there was this crazy scoring punch coming off the bench, so Hartenstein's like, I'm going to get these tip outs. I'm going to hit this big free throw off of Brunson making that three when there was the foul away from the ball when Bam Adebayo ran through the screen. So Knicks played with heart. They out-rebounded. Julius Randle hit shots when it mattered, or not even when it mattered, just like set the tone, because what was our recipe in the regular season? Randle gets going in that first half, and it's obviously extra help when RJ is able to get going, and then Brunson closes out in the second half, and then we play that high level of intensity on defense. So there needs to be more consistency when it comes to defense, in my opinion. I wish we forced more turnovers, but you can credit the Heat discipline. They only had 6 turnovers. We didn't turn the ball over a lot, which I liked as well. When you go down, yes, RJ had three turnovers. Hart had one. Brunson had one, that's back to the characteristic Brunson. That's Brunson's game. He only had one. Randle had 3, which is good for Randle. Quickly did have 2 coming off the bench, and he had this offensive foul that was bad. He was just out of control. He finished with 6 points, had a couple shots in the fourth quarter, only played 9 minutes. But I just thought it was extremely interesting that RJ didn't play down the stretch. Maybe Tibbs doesn't count on him on defense, but maybe we needed that extra scoring punch, though, in my opinion. But I don't know. Maybe it resulted in a win, though. I'm not going to try to complain or anything like that, but let me know down below your thoughts on this game. How do you think Game 3 is going to go? There was a lot to unpack in this game, so I was like, how should I do this recap video? It was a tale of 2 halves, and Brunson stepped up. Brunson was the guy that just needed to step up. Didn't have much from Brunson in the first half. He was able to step up. Hartenstein produced with the big-time rebounds, was able to stay out of foul trouble and not foul out of this game. And we got some timely stops out there. So let me know down below your thoughts. Peace out, y'all.